Good afternoon, everyone. Great to have you join us via Zoom or via Facebook Live today. Just a quick check. I'd like to see if you can hear me well. So please type hello on the chat box or on the comment section, just so I know that I'm coming in here. All right, good. Thank you to those who are typing. Good afternoon to everyone who's joining us today. We know it's you're towards the end of your day, so we're excited to have you here at the Exceed Super Teacher webinar. My name is Raisa Kalunsag, and I'm part of the Exceed implementation team. We at Exceed, your partner in bringing 21st century instruction and quality education to your children, are proud to present to you two of the revolutionary tools that will help you teach effectively, whether online and face-to-face. That's the Exceed Super Teacher app and Exceed Testmaker. In today's session, we will also show the newest Exceed app, Exceed Universal, a school management system that will help schools conduct their day-to-day operations smoothly. So I will walk you through the step-by-step procedure from installing and using the app in your Exceed class to creating tests and announcements for your students. While the format of the weekly webinar remains the same every week, we take up a different lesson each time we do the session to demonstrate using the Exceed Super Teacher app. Today, we will be demonstrating how to prepare for, conduct, and create a test for your science grade 4 science classes. We also try to answer the most frequently asked questions about the different tools you will be using. So should you have questions or thoughts about our sessions today, please feel free to type on chat or on the comment section if you're joining us via Facebook Live. So to start us off, may I know what device you're using to view this webinar today? Remember, Exceed tools are compatible with all types of devices. So please type in the chat box or in the comment section, mobile, tablet, or computer, and then let me see where you're joining us from. Okay, let's see. It looks like we have some mobile users and also computer users in the audience today. Great. So keep these comments and responses coming. So remember, this is an interactive session. If I don't see and hear you at the moment, but I do see your reactions on chat, and I appreciate you interacting with me, either through the chat box here in Zoom or through the comment section on Facebook Live. All right, so now it's time for us to see all the exciting features of the Exceed Super Teacher app. So let me just prepare my screen for you. Okay, let me just do this now. All right. All right. So what you've just seen is what truly makes this a super teacher app. So I'm very proud to share both are available in mobile and web versions. So now I know many teachers already have access to the mobile and web versions of the app, but for those that do not have it yet or are just new to this, let me walk you through how to download and register. So I'll first go to our knowledge base, which is the place to go to whenever you want to know something about the materials that we have. Okay, so what you see now is the knowledge base site. Let me just make sure there. What you see now is the knowledge base site at help.exceededucation.com. It's there to help you download and install the app first on your mobile phone. Help.exceededucation.com is the knowledge base for the Exceed Super Teacher app. You will see all of the helpful instructions and tips for the app here. Now, we will share the link of the knowledge base site in the chat box and the comment section for you to click on. Okay, now remember again, we will be continually sharing important links on the chat box and on the comment section. So please make sure you go check it out regularly. And to be able to access the TestMaker and Exceed Universal, other tools that we have, you need to make sure to download, install, and register in the Exceed Super Teacher app first. And you can actually do that by going to the bottom of the knowledge base site where you can see the button that says download the app, right? So using your mobile phone, again, we do this first on our mobile phone. Take the time to click on the red button, download the app, and install it. Now let's just take a look at the detailed process of how to do that. Okay, so once you've downloaded or once you've clicked on the button at help.exceededucation.com, it will lead you to the downloading section of the app. Please make sure that you fill in your details, name, email, country code, and mobile number. Make sure that whatever details you put in there is something that you use and access regularly. Once you've done that, please make sure to choose the role which describes you best and click on the submit button. You will be redirected to the download page depending on the kind of device that you have. If you have an Android phone, you will be going to click on the Google Play button, and then it will lead you to the Google Play Store. Clicking on the install button will allow you to download and install the app on your phone or Android tablet. Now, if you're an iPhone user, your App Store button, clicking on that, you'll find your App Store button there. Clicking on that will install the app on your iPhone. And once the installation is complete, you will find the app installed in your phone's home screen. Okay, so this just takes a few seconds to fill in the details. So I'm going to give you just a few to make sure that you have it in your phones today so that you can follow along with the session. Okay, now if you have already downloaded the Super Teacher app, I'd like for you to type "got it" on the chat box or on the comment section. Alternatively, you can also raise your digital hand. So let me know how many of you have downloaded the Super Teacher app. Very good, great. Looks like a lot of you have taken the time to do that. And again, this just takes a few seconds. So you can do it as we're talking. You can do it by clicking on the link in the chat box. That way you are able to participate in our session today. Perfect. It looks like we have a lot of teachers who have downloaded it. Now let's go on to see and how to register in the Super Teacher app. And again, I'll use the knowledge base to walk you through that. So remember, installation first. Step 2 is registration. It's very important step because it will give you access to all of Exceed's powerful features. Now let me walk you through the registration process. Again, this is through the knowledge base site at help.exceededucation.com. Once you downloaded it, you can now open it. You can now register through the web version of the Exceed Super Teacher app, which can be found at web.exceedsuperteacher.com. So we will share that link with you in the chat box as well. But just so you know, the web registration site looks like this. Right? So for iPhone users or for those who are on their computers right now, you can register your phone, your mobile numbers and your app through this through the web version of the Exceed Super Teacher app. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Once you have installed the SuperTeacher app, what I'd like you to do now is verify your mobile number by entering it on the SuperTeacher app and hitting send OTP button. You'll receive a one-time password via SMS. Enter the SMS that you received to verify your mobile number. Now, you'll be receiving a few blanks that you need to fill out. Enter all the required information and to register on the app. You will need to enter a unique license code during the sign-up process. So it will ask you for this. If you're a teacher from an Exceed school, you're eligible for a free license code because your school has already purchased Exceed materials. So please get in touch with your school management to get your free license code now. If you're an independent teacher or somebody who's not part of an Exceed school, if you're a parent or an interested teacher, you can actually leave this section blank. The app will be available for a 7-day trial period. You'll be able to access the lessons then, after which you'll need to purchase a license code to continue to use the app. Now, once you're done inputting the license code or skipping it, if that's something that you need to do, you can now choose the subjects and grades that you teach to get access to the lesson plans available. So if you wish to change it, you can do that also at a later time. Please note, you can only choose a maximum of 6 subject grade combinations. So if you want a different subject grade and you've already chosen 6, you can unclick 1 and then click a new one. So you will always be able to view 6. Now, the last option or the last step is to click submit so that the registration is complete. And once that's done, you're ready to use the SuperTeacher app for your classroom. Okay? So please remember that if you are an iPhone user, you will have to register on your laptop or desktop as well via the web version of the app, and the link is on the chat. You can check it there. Now, let's again have a quick show of hands. May I know how many of you already have your license codes from your supervisors? Right? And we know that it's a correct license code because it will give us access to 1 year's set of contents for all of the Exceed subjects. Very good. Now remember, if you're an Exceed partner school but you do not have the license code yet, please go to your teacher supervisor or your Exceed leader. You will need it in order to be able to access all of the Exceed tools for your school. For those of you who are not currently teaching in Exceed schools, you'll still be able to use the app for 1 full week. So you can skip the field where the license code is required. And again, you can register right now to begin using the app. I will give you a few seconds to complete this step. Please remember, for iPhone users, you can only enter your license code via the web version of the app, and it will be automatically synced to your phone. Okay. So now I think a majority of us already has access to the app. We've seen and downloaded it. So why don't we go and prepare to teach a lesson? Okay, so let's go and practice preparing for a lesson right now. I'd like for everybody to choose and open a lesson plan and read through it. So why don't you go and open your SuperTeacher app? Choose any grade or any lesson in any subject that you have there. Pick one and type in the chat box what subject and grade you're looking at. So let me do the same thing. I'll be opening my grade for science class. I'll show you what that looks like by sharing the web version on my screen. Okay, so let me see. Looks like somebody is opening social studies, somebody's opening math, others are opening the early programs, UKG, LKG, environmental science is also open, grade 2 maths LP. Great. So as you can see, all of us can open the subjects that we need at the same time and be able to view it. In my case, what I'm sharing with you are the subjects that I have. Today, we're taking a look at the science class. Let's take a look at the subjects, the different lessons that we have. So looks like all of the lessons are here. For today, we're taking a look at block 11, which is food are basic needs. And I think it's good to check out food for different ages. Okay, so as you can see, this is what you call the teacher's view. This is the view that we use to prepare our lesson. You will find the summary of the Exceed method right here. It'll tell you how your day will go. You'll also be able to see the resources that you will need. You can tick on the resources if it's already something you've prepared. If you need to go and see what it looks like, you can click on the picture as well. It will show that for you. So once you're done going through the resources, you'll be able to also see different keywords that you'll be using for the day. Now, as you can see, the word for this day is this, constipation. It'll have the definition up here in the box, as well as an audio function. So if you click this, you will hear what
constipation, a condition which results in irregular bowel movement.
So any portion that has an audio section will read it out for you. And you can see that it has an audio function on every section, starting from aim all the way to application. Okay, so now that we're done with the resources and the keywords, let's take a look at the Q&A. Let's take a look at the notes section. Every section header from action, analysis, and application has something called the My Notes feature, and it's a helpful tool to help you remember things that you need to prepare for. In this case, what I've typed here is at the bottom of my screen, the prompt is appearing for a note. What I've initially typed is prepare photo of Olden Young Man. I'll type another note for myself, which says prepare homework announcement. Let's say that's what I want to remind myself. I'll click the arrow, and as you can see, it appears at the end of the section. You can edit it again, and the same prompt will appear. Okay. After the notes, now let's move on to the Q&A, which is at the very bottom of the teacher's view. So we're just scrolling through all the parts of the Exceed lesson plan, where you will see analysis and then finally assessment. Q&A is really for teachers who need support with the lesson. It's a useful feature in case you're wondering about something in the lesson plan, and there's two ways to access it. The first one is this button on the left side of the dashboard, and another option is in this button right under questions and answers. Now take a look at my screen. How many questions have been asked about this? You can type on chat. Right, currently we know that there are no questions being asked about this session, but in other lesson plans, you might encounter lesson plans with questions already written and answers already written. Now, in case you have a question, all you have to do is click, and then once you've clicked on it, you will be led to this page. You have two places to ask questions. If you have a question related to the topic or the lesson, please click on the button up here. It says, yes, ask about this lesson. If you have a question related to the use and the features of the Super Teacher app, questions about technical concerns, please click on the button right here. Go to Super Teacher Hub. It will go first to our knowledge base site, and then it will allow you to go ask more detailed questions there. Both buttons have team members who will be able to answer your questions. Okay, now let's go back to the teacher's view, and let's go and see this portion, which is feedback, right? To help us make our lessons better, you can leave a rating using the stars in this section. So if you want to rate this complete, you can highlight the number of stars and then you will submit it. If the lesson is incomplete, you will see the slider on the left. But once you are done with it, you can swipe right and it will record as a completed lesson. Okay, so again, this is a useful feature to give us feedback at any given. Okay, now, like I said, this whole page here is what we call the teacher's view. And this is something that we do to prepare. To make this lesson plan ready for classroom use, all we need to do is go to the very top of it, go to the right side of the page and click on projector. So projector will lead you to what we call the student view. And this is what you will use when you run an online class or a face-to-face class. So I'd like for you to do that for the lessons that you've opened. Look for the projector button and open it. You can swipe right or left if you are on a mobile or a tablet. If you are on the computer like I am, you can access the slide controls here at the bottom, and then you can use that to slide the slides left or right. So the same areas are accessible to you both in the teacher section and here also in the student. Okay, now while I'm sliding, I know some of you are probably doing the same thing. I'd like for you to imagine how you'll use this to teach in your online or your face-to-face class. So I'd like for you to go through all of the slides and find out what is written at the very end of the student view. Okay, again, I'd like for you to go to the very last slide and tell me what is written after this one at the very end of the student view. Okay, so it looks like some people have seen it already. You know you're at the end of the slides when you see have a good day, right? So we know that this is the end of the student. Okay, but you can go back to the first part if you need to do so. Okay, so don't forget that videos and instructions about the app are also found in our knowledge base, so you can view them at any given time. Just in case you want to go back, by the way, to the teacher's view, what we need to do is you just click on exit and we'll go back to the lesson plan that we were viewing earlier. All right, so it looks like we have everything we need to run an Exceed. I set for running a class, you should be set for running a class as well. So why don't we go and sit through a demo class in Exceed? That way you can see how it's used for your students. So I'll be doing a demo class. You will need to pretend to be my grade 4 science students. Okay, so let me go share my screen again, this time in student view. That way we can begin our demonstration. All right. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our science class for today. My name is Teacher Raisa. All right, let's begin by looking at our aim. So we already know that we must regularly eat a balanced diet. And our aim for today is we will understand how diets of people vary or change with age. So again, today we will understand how diets of people vary with age. And to help us learn a little bit more, we're going to take a look at a word that maybe you know or you've used. The word is constipation. So it's a condition which results in an irregular bowel movement. So it's a condition that a lot of people may experience. Okay, so let's begin. Now, let's take a look at this photo. It's a photo of an older man, an aging adult, and a young boy. Right? So what I'd like for you, grade 4 students, to do is I'd like for you to type on chat, what is the difference in the bodies of the older man, of the old man, and the young boy? So again, what I need you to do on chat or on the comment section, students, grade 4 students, is to type what's the difference in the bodies of this old man and the young boy. All right, let's see. Some are saying yes, definitely. They are, one is older, the age, they're older. But I'd like for you to take a look at how he looks. Maybe you can imagine also how will the old man feel versus how the child will feel. How will he move? How will his size be different? Very good. Okay, some are saying young ones are more active. Maybe the old ones taking things slow. One is immunity is different also. The old man might be taller. Very good. Great. Keep on typing your answers. Okay, some are saying their skin is different. Yes, the young boy's skin is smoother and the old man has more mature skin. Now, I'd like for you to keep that in mind, that these two have distinct differences, because we're going to take a look at two different meals, right? The first one is a diet or a dish of berries and bananas. There's oatmeal and milk, and there's almonds. The second one is a dish of milk, peas, there's fried fish in there, mashed potatoes, and tomatoes. Which one do you think is more suited for the old man, and which one is more suited for the young? Okay, this time again, type your answers on chat. Which one do you think you'd rather serve to an old man or to a younger boy? So you have to be a little specific. So diet 1 goes to who? Is it the old man? All right, so some here are saying, I think the first one, diet 1, is better for the old man, and diet 2 is better for the younger boy. Right, now, can you tell me a little bit why that's the case? Right? Why do you think the first one, which has oatmeal and milk, almonds, and bananas, is better for the old man? And why is the second one, with its potatoes and fish and veggies, why is it better for the young boy? Right, some are saying the first one is easier to eat and has more fiber for the old man, which will help him. Very good. And the young boy needs the nutrients in the second diet to be able to grow. So some are saying it's rich in protein. The second diet's perfect for the little boy. And the other one is saying that the first diet is soft and easy to digest. Great. These are great answers. Good thinking happening in class. Now let's move on. Let's see. Before we get to answering a lot more questions, I'd like for you to watch and listen to this video carefully. Okay, let me play it. And then please type OK so that I know you're hearing the sound.
Our body undergoes changes as we age. The muscles and bones of aging adults may become weak. They may also suffer from conditions like indigestion and constipation. The diet of aging adults must include more proteins and fiber-rich foods. Growing children are more physically active. Their muscles and bones are actively growing. The diet of growing children must include more carbohydrates, fats, and protein.
All right, so thanks for watching that video. Now that we've had a little idea of how our bodies work, let's move on to answering our questions for the day. Okay, first things first. What are the changes that take place in our body as we age? On chat type, what do you think you noticed? Maybe when you were 3 years old, or 4 years old, your body would have been different. And now that you're in 4th grade, which means you might be 10 years old, it's a lot different from when you were young. What is the difference that you notice? So type it on chat, right? And then maybe you notice how different is your body from your mom's body and your dad's body. Okay. All right, so people here are saying, I think our bones grow longer. Some of them are saying they're more active now, definitely more active than the older people. A lot are saying also, oh, our height is different. We used to be smaller, now that we are bigger. Great. Now let's move on to the, I think it's good to remember that as we grow older, right, especially if you become an adult, the energy and the strength that you find in your muscle tend to get lost, right? Your body loses muscles and your bones. Our body might also not be able to digest as much food as we were able to do so when we were young, especially food with oil and fat. And then finally, if you're a child, if you are in 4th grade, definitely all the way to 8th grade, your muscles and bones are still actively growing, which means you're feeling yourself getting strong and getting bigger. Next question. How will your diet vary with age? Right? So you're saying that when you're young, you're getting, you feel yourself growing stronger, getting bigger. And then as you get past a certain age, you stop growing and your muscles also stop becoming stronger. So how does your diet differ? All right, on chat, let's see. Right, it says here, well, as we grow younger, I think that we like more vegetables in our diet. As you grow younger, or maybe as you grow older. I think people here on the chat are saying also older people need fiber in their diet, something that's easy to digest. Now let's take a look. Well, that's right. Growing children needs more carbohydrate and fats in their diet because we need the energy to run and move around. Children also need sufficient protein to help us grow tall and strong. Remember, your muscles are still growing. Aging adults that are getting older, should limit the intake of fat because it can lead to weight gain. And older people also get help by eating fiber-rich foods for conditions to help them digest their food better. Protein-rich food will also help keep muscles and bones from weakening. And just to reiterate that, you can take a look at this graphic to help us remember that the older you get, you should limit your intake of fats to avoid weight gain. You can include more protein-rich foods for stronger bones. And finally, you should include more fiber-rich foods for healthy digestion. For children, you should include more carbs and fats for energy, and you can include more protein for muscle. Okay. Now, last one, the most, that's our HOTS question, your higher order thinking question. How can diet vary with other conditions? For example, the kind of work a person does. So think, how will your diet need to change depending on the work that you do, right? Let's see if is the diet the same for maybe a teacher like me and maybe somebody who works in construction or in a building, right? So let's see. Okay. Diet can not only vary with age, but also with health conditions, right? And ma'am here is saying laborers need rich diet. That's true because the type of work a person does, also the community or group he or she belongs to really dictates the needs of our body. So the more you work, the harder you work, I think the more nutrients you need. For example, if you're an athlete or a laborer, your diet needs to include more carbohydrates and proteins. If your build also is very heavy, maybe avoiding foods that contain oil and fats is helpful and healthy because they get stored in your body and will lead you to increase. All right, so it looks like we're almost out of time for our lesson today. But I think what is good to do is you'll have a few minutes to answer your worksheets. So please go and get your Exceed workbook, open to block 11, page 5, and answer questions 1, 2, and 3. So we'll do that in the remaining minutes of the class. While you're getting your workbooks ready, do not forget, Teacher Raisa will be sending an announcement for your homework later. So check it out in your Exceed Universal. This is the homework practice questions. Okay, so remember, finish answering your worksheet and check the announcement in Exceed Universal. Okay, that's all the time we have for our lesson. I want to say thank you to everyone and have a good day. See you in class tomorrow. Okay, so that's the end of the demo. Thank you for your active participation. Thank you for all those who contributed. Very thoughtful discussions on vegetables and healthy foods. Okay, now that we're done with the class, we've prepared for it. I've run the demo. You probably also looked through the slides. I think we will go and move on to the test maker. Okay, now assessment, you have to remember, is an important part of learning. To measure how much our students learn, what we'll do is we'll make a test about that grade 4 science class that we just had. Now, the Exceed Test Maker will allow you to generate test papers for all grades and all Exceed subjects. Now, in some versions of the Exceed material, you can access it through the revision and assessment block, select LP4 or 5, assessment period, and then tap on question and answer. There you will find the instructions and the link to the test maker. So that looks like this, right? So you will see these prompts and these links in your Super Teacher app, right? They will lead you directly to the test maker and to the site where you can register or log in to the test maker app. Alternatively, you can directly go to the site via the link we will share in the chat box right now. So this is the testmaker.exceededucation.com. So again, testmaker.exceededucation.com. The link that's on the chat right now will direct you to this site, and it will allow you to register for the Testmaker app. Now, when registering, please make sure to use the same email and mobile number that you use when you registered for the Super Teacher app. So when logging in to the Testmaker, use the same mobile number and email that you use for the Super Teacher. Okay, so now let's just take a look at what the Testmaker looks like, right? Let's pretend that I'm done with my class, and so now I have to make the test. So once I log in, this is where I will go to. Okay, so you will see the Testmaker dashboards. It will have the number of tests that you've made and you've used. You'll have the tests broken down per subject, how many you've created and how many have been used by you. And broken down also by grade levels. So these are the classes that I've had. The Testmaker will give you access to questions for the lessons currently chosen in your Super Teacher app. So meaning in my Super Teacher app, these are the subjects that I have. And these are the grades that I have for science. So I only have grade 4, right? So if you do not see other subjects in the Testmaker, go back to the Super Teacher app, choose the level and subjects that you need, and then it will automatically sync up and update the information in your Testmaker. So after choosing the grade, the subject, and in this case, you can choose the blocks also, you will need to choose other parameters for testing. So that can be found here. Remember to choose realistic and fair testing parameters. So for example, we cannot expect a 30-item test to finish in 15 minutes. So let's make a test for the one that we just had, right? So today we did the science class for grade 4. That's already there. What I want to do is a practice test. I'll give, maybe it's something that needs to be short because it's just a practice test. So I'll do 15 minutes. And 15 minutes, they'll be able to do 10 questions. For the blocks, I think we did block 11 today. But I also want to give them some practice with block 10. And I think, yeah, let's try block 9. So 3 blocks, 9, 10, and 11 are chosen for the specific test. I'll make the test easy because it's just practice. And then I'll choose short question type. So short and long means you have, in addition to blanks and multiple choice, you also have paragraph questions included. Once I click submit, the test will be generated by the app. And all I have to do is click view test. And voila, this is the test that we've made. So as you can see, it's an easy test with 10 marks that's supposed to be done for 15 minutes. So these are the questions that it's chosen. I can view the answers individually right over here, and then hide it again. Or if I want to show everything, I can go and click view all answers. So appear that way. Now, there's different ways to save it. I can save, well, first I will have to go and change the test name so that I can find it in my files. In this case, I will write it for section 4A, and today is March 24. Oops. Okay, so I know that that's a test we've created today. It says it's been saved, and I'd like to go and download it now. Now, wait, before I download, let's see, if I want to share it to my co-teachers, I can go and click share via email. And then I'll enter the email address here and click send. But if I don't do that, I can download and I have two options: as a student test or as a teacher's answer guide, right? So what I'll do is I'll go and download it as a student. So while it's loading, I think it's good to remember that TestMaker is built for browser version only. So to view the TestMaker properly, please use a laptop and the Google Chrome browser. Again, this is not something that you'll be able to use in your mobile or your tablet version. Okay, or in your mobile version. It's better done on the laptop. Okay, I see the test here. We can open it now, and there you go. So that's the test that we've created. Okay, so now that you've created one, you can photocopy it and administer it in your face-to-face class as it is, or you can transfer the question to an online tool and administer it in your online class. Either way, you'll be able to do so with the questions. Now, because this is a test that we've created, we want to go and mark it as used because we don't want to reuse the questions for future tests. So all you have to do is go to the save tests. So this is what we created today, and then click used, not yet used, so that you can go and change it. Once that's clicked, you will be able, the questions will not be reused in your other tests. Okay, so now that we've created the test, we've downloaded it. Let's go and share it with the rest of us. Let's move on to Exceed's newest tool. Okay. Exceed Universal is a school management system. It's designed to help equip school owners and teaching personnel in the monitoring and supervising of the school's day-to-day operation. It's available as a mobile app for Android and Apple iOS and can also be accessed via the web version. For teachers using their computers, you can log into Exceed Universal through this link that we will be sharing on chat. And I'll also show you what the login page for Universal looks like. So the Exceed Universal link is on chat. And once you click on that link, you will be able to log in through this page that you see right now. Okay, so all you need to do is input the same number you use for the Super Teacher app and the TestMaker. Since you've already registered via the Super Teacher app, you will be able to access the features of Exceed Universal. Again, when registering, please make sure that the same email address and mobile number that you used for Super Teacher app is the one that you use for Exceed Universal. All right, so what does Exceed Universal? So let me go and show you what happens when you log in. So once you log in, you'll be led to this dashboard. It's good to know that Universal has many useful features. So today, we will be using the announcement section, it's right over here, to create an announcement and to share it with our class. But as you can see, there's other options that you can explore. So quality schools ensure that there's good communication between the administration, the teachers, and the parents. So the announcement function in Exceed Universal ensures that information is shared in real time and that announcements get to parents all the time. It also enables parents and students to communicate with their teachers in a very secure space. So announcements are filtered in or grouped into these sections. So the school, announcements by school, class, announcements from Exceed, and created by me. Beside the announcement stream, you will see the picture of the day. So there's one and there's several selections there. Along with upcoming events, so scheduled events for the school and the students and teachers as well. Okay, so let's begin by creating an announcement. So you can do this by clicking on the Create Announcement button, which is over here, or the plus Add button, which is on the top right of the screen. Both will give you access to the Compose panel, a Create Announcement panel. So after clicking the recipient. So in this case, we did the class for grade 4. I'm going to click 4A. I'll click proceed. I can actually choose one or several classes. So if there's more than 2 sections in grade 4, I can go and click 2 sections. Okay, so don't forget to choose the announcement type. Depending on what you click on, it will have different features. In this case, we'll do homework because we want them to be able to submit something back. Our subject today is science, and the title that I will put is practice questions for block 9 to 11. All right, so when did we have the class? We had the class today. When do I want it to be due? I want it to be due, I think, by Monday. I hope the students turn it in by then. And what I'll do is I'll type instructions for them. Please answer practice questions. Send photo, submit photo when done. All right, so once the instructions are there, I can add the test that we need today. So remember, I downloaded the test. I'll click add attachments. And I download. There you go, practice test. It's uploaded on the Compose panel. If you want parents and students to be able to communicate with you in the thread, you can click enable comment, which is this tick mark there. If you want it to be disabled, you can unclick here and you will not be able to interact with the parents and the students in the thread. But for this exercise, we'll click enable comment, click send. Are you sure you want to create an announcement? The answer is yes. All right. So as you can see in the created by me section, there's already practice questions for block 9 to 11. Right? It has the practice test. And what's special about this feature is that there's 2 buttons here that's going to be very useful for us. The first one is an acknowledge list, which means that if a parent or a student sees the test, they click on it and they will we will have the ticker count how many have seen the email. The other thing is when they're done and have submitted their files onto Universal, we'll also get to see how many students have submitted through the submission list. Again, because the comment section was enabled, parents can interact by adding a comment or replying to comments that we write in the thread. So for example, I will write a reminder. Please click on acknowledge when you have read. Okay, so that's my comment. And again, it's going to be public. So that means everyone will be able to see. Okay, so you find the comment right over there. Okay, so this function is something that you can use in your class for your section. Can you make, there's a quick question here. Okay, can you make an announcement which is specific only to a particular child? I think you can send a specific message to a child. Okay, all right, so now let's go and make another kind of announcement. So let's pretend that we're done with the session that we had today and we want to tell people about a general announcement. This is something that everybody needs to know. So in this case, what I will do is make an announcement for not just for 4th grade, which we had today, but grade 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Everyone needs to know about this information. It's a general announcement, which means that there will be no submission link. What I'll do is write the title, holiday break coming up. Maybe there's some days when we will not have school. And when do I want to release this announcement? I'm going to have it set up for release tomorrow instead of today. What time do I want it sent out to the students? I think it's okay to have it done at 8 a.m. right at the start of the day. Okay, so now that the details are done, I've written the announcements, I've chosen the recipients, I've written the subject line, I've put on the date, my description will be holiday break. Oops. Will be April 1 to April 10. See you back on April 11. Let's say that that's an announcement that I want to create. I don't need to attach anything because it's just an announcement. Again, I'll enable comment. That way parents can ask questions directly to me. And then I'll click send. Do I want to create an announcement? The answer is yes. Okay, so as you can see, the announcement is here, sent to several classes at the same time. But the date is set out for tomorrow. The announcement is written there, holiday break. But instead of acknowledge and a submission list, you will only have an acknowledge list. Okay. Now, I think it's important to remember that there's different types of announcements. There's the announcements in the announcement stream that fall under general categories. You can announce a homework, a newsletter, or a circular, but you can also manipulate the picture of the day through the announcement section. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click on the plus, add, again, choose the recipient, and the difference this time is the announcement type should be picture of the day. Once you add the title and the description, you can add a picture that you would like, and it will automatically appear on the subject streams. Okay. So for this one, I'll cancel the announcement. I think one more. Oops. Sorry. Let me do that again. You want to cancel the announcement? Yes, and I think the last feature will go and show you for today is the student information. So remember, we were at the announcement section. That's where the announcement stream is, picture of the day, events, upcoming events. To go to the student information section, you go to the category or the grouping on the left side. This is a list of all of the students. In this case, we're looking at the 3A class. And let's pretend that I want to send a specific message to Ravi Kapoor, who is one of the students there. So these are Ravi's details. And what I'll do is I'll go to view. Right? You will see his details there. You'll see many details in here actually. We'll go through it first, and then I'll show you how to make an announcement. So in the student details, in the information section, you will have information relating to their enrollment to your school. You will have an option to add activities and photos for them. You will have the remarks, in which case you can message directly to students and their parents in this section. Report cards from your school through Report B are also made here, along with the Learnometer report. There's a breakdown of grades in this section, and we'll get into that detail at a different time. But you also can upload certificates that they earn throughout the year in this particular section. But let's go and look at how we can send a message to Ravi and his parents. So let's see teacher's remarks. It says at the bottom, add remark here. Let's say Ravi was absent and you want to tell his mom to check the homework for the class, right? I can type that reminder there. Please, homework uploaded in announcement. Please answer and send. I think. All right, so let's pretend that that's what I want to say to Ravi's parents. So once I click add, you will see that it is right at the top of the list. I see that I have an error, so I'm going to go and edit it. And that means I can go back. and then just make it better and scan. Okay. Then click update. Okay, so then we have a private message sent to Ravi and his parents through the Exceed Universal. Okay, so there's a lot more to learn, and I think what's good to know is that you can find instructions on how to create assessments, how to use the timetable, how to manipulate the information here through the Universal Knowledge Base site. So it's right over here. This and other helpful videos can be found in the link that we will now share on chat. I think it's a good reminder also that for the details that we have, only the parents of the students will be able to see their information. So this is the information is something that the teacher will see and the school admin will see, and the individual parent will see. Other parents will not be able to see the information that's in Universal for their children. Okay, so if you want to learn more about Universal, you can go and visit the knowledge base at help.exceededucation.com/universal/videos. This will tell you a lot more about the tool and the different features that we have in store for you. You can also direct your parents to this video right here, which is how to register and log into Universal, right? So that they can register and access all the useful features of the Universal. Now remember, each student will need a unique access key from the school in order to be able to log in. If your students have not received their access keys, please contact your school supervisor. And what the access keys look like is this. So the access card is something you will find in your Exceed book pack. It has a QR code and your user code. And all of this is included with instructions. That means all they have to do is read the instructions and then scan the QR code and input the necessary information in the link that appears. Okay, and remember, each student will need a unique access card or access key from the school so that they can log in. All right, so it looks like that's the time that we have for today. I know that you have a lot of questions for Exceed Universal and other tools, and we're very happy to answer all of this. You can send us an email through contact@Exceed Education. That way we can help you and answer your questions in detail. Okay, so let me just make sure. All right, so I think now that we've gone through all the steps in maximizing the use of the app, you can now spend more time experiencing and exploring it. So we hope you find the app, Testmaker, and Universal useful in the preparation and running of your class. Do give it a try right after this webinar. And should you have any questions or feedback for us, please go and email us at contact@exceededucation.com, which is right over here. And if you remember, you can also go to the knowledge base for Super Teacher app and for Universal to find out more about how to use the apps that we have today. For teachers, to access all of the amazing features of the Exceed Universal app, don't forget to sign in via the link in the chat, universal.exceededucation.com login. And for parents who have already received their access keys, they can register via a different link, register.exceededucation.com. Instructions can also be found via the Exceed Universal Access Card, which we showed earlier, included in the Exceed book packs that they will receive. So don't forget, so students and parents will not be able to log in without an access key issued by the school. So please make sure that each of your students get one. Okay, so if you missed the previous instructions, please click on the link to go to the knowledge base and FAQ pages. All right. So we'd love to hear from you. Please email us at contact@exceededucation.com or drop us a message on the Facebook page. So before we officially end the session, many of you teachers out there will be familiar with the idea of an exit ticket. And so my exit ticket for you is this. I'd like to find out if you have already accessed Exceed Universal for yourself and for your school. If you have done so, type yes in the chat box or in the comment section right now. Okay, let's see. It looks like a lot of people have already tried it out or access. And remember, because it's an app, you can try it out and play with it. The more you use it, the better you'll get at it. If you haven't already, remember there's a few things that you need to do. Talk to your supervisor for your Super Teacher app access code, register your phone, and make sure that you get make sure you input updated phone number and email addresses. Okay, so with that, I'd like to say thank you for staying with me for the session today. I hope that you have a great day and a great week ahead. So that's it. Thank you very much. Keep safe and have a great day, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.